Hello, it is Eric Pauly at erpoly.com. That's ERPOLLEY.com. Today I will be explaining a bit about symbols inside of Animate CC. Without any further ado, why don't we hop on in? So, first off, we have Animate CC open. We have opened a new project. You can do so inside over here by clicking New. And what I opened up was a full HD. If you would like to follow along exactly, that's how I'm doing this. You can use a mouse just as easily as I am going to be using a stylus on a tablet. For this example, it does not really matter. I do have a couple add-ons here in the tool set that you may not have. I may be using a different workspace. It's really all to preference. You can change workspaces over here, down all the way in Windows. You can go to Essentials. I have changed a few things for my own preferences, all relatively irrelevant to this tutorial. For symbols, I will explain why I use symbols by creating a quick animation. So I hit B, the shortcut for brush, and I'm going to be using F7 to create individual keyframes. Oops. 7. And let's go back. F7. Now if I hit enter, you can see it jumps. I keep on hitting enter it over and over. I hit enter once and it does that little animation. But let's say we want that to play for this many frames, 60 frames. Now, if I really wanted to, I could sit there and copy and paste them into the timeline over here, but that seems incredibly inefficient. So what I'm going to do is inside of this layer here, which we don't need that extra, I don't know why I made that. Let's draw a little line, and this is just so I can create the actual symbol itself. So it starts off when you hit F8 to create a symbol. You can also right click and create a symbol, or convert to symbol is what it's called, and create a symbol. I'm going to call this one bouncing ball. Now it is inside of a symbol, which conveniently is right here at the end of the timeline. I can just drag this keyframe all the way back to the beginning, and now this one single line will play for the entire duration of the timeline. As you can see, nothing happens because it's not animated. For this demonstration, I'm just going to right-click on this layer, cut the layer, and go inside of this symbol here. To go inside of this symbol and edit the timeline that is inside, I double-click, and you can see now I'm inside the timeline here, bouncing ball. And there's nothing in here except for this one little line we made. Now I'm going to paste the original animation, and for whatever reason, whenever I do this, it pastes it way outside of where I was originally. Not sure why, but that's a thing that happens. So you can see it's right there, and if I click scene 1 to get out of the symbol, I can grab this ball, move it up where it's supposed to be. I'm going to hold control, press 2 on the keyboard, and that will show frame is what it's called, and it will show you the entire frame. So we want, actually, this is not the original location, we want it more like over here. And now if I hit enter on the keyboard, because I have stretched this timeline out and put a frame all the way at 60, it will play now 60 frames. And if I double click again inside of the timeline, you can see it's actually only 8 frames. Now if I'm on the current layer, that has my bouncing ball symbol inside of it, and I click on the actual item itself, it will bring me up to the properties over here. If you cannot find it, you can go down, click on the windows, and go to properties, click it once, and it'll pop right up. And inside of this properties, there's the option for looping. You can change this here. You can play only once, which will do very similar to how it was originally, and to where it was just animated directly on the timeline itself, right? I'll click back on that symbol and go down to looping, and let's just try it with the original loop. And as you can see, the animation inside of that symbol is now looping. So it will happen over and over and over again, and it'll keep playing as long as there is enough timeline here on that layer for it to play. So if you want, say, right click and duplicate it, and then let's just click on this, go to object, and let's have this one start on frame 3. So now you have two of the same symbols on different layers that will play together to kind of give you that insanity look. I don't know what to call that. But I believe that's enough to give you the basic idea of what it is to work with symbols inside of Animate CC. I will start releasing more of these kind of tutorials, so please do subscribe and check out the next tutorial. I will see you there. It's been Eric Pauly. You've been you. Make some animation happen.